I'm still trying to be at home on this back porch of not mine. I was trying to get that out of the picture, but it had something on the top, and then I touched it. Yuck. Oh gosh, hi you guys. Welcome to day one of, hi Liga. Day one of moving past doubt, unhiding, and knowing that you know. A lot of you jumped in today, which is really, really fucking fun. I'm so glad to have you. I can't swipe and see who all is here. You know, everything changes all the time. I see Gabrielle, I see Liga. Hi Anne. Okay, Gabrielle, you have to tell me the story of why on Facebook you are Aman Roop. I need to know that. Hi to all you guys. So if you're here, say hi, because otherwise I can't see you. Hi, Tracy. Oh my god, I saw your name. I was like, I haven't seen you in forever. Cool. Well, this is day one. Hi, Leanne. And a lot of you jumped in last minute. We are a cozy group, which I think is really cool and really brave of you. I just would, if you would, take a second and acknowledge what you're actually choosing by choosing this class. And just receive that for a second. What are you really choosing with choosing this class? Are you just choosing to feel better about yourself for 47 days? Or is there something more that you've been asking for that when you saw this class was like, that, what can I add to my life? That, what can I add to my life? That. So it's very important as we're moving forward that you acknowledge you, that you acknowledge who you be, that you acknowledge what you're choosing, that you acknowledge you. I am going to have the constant problem every single day of talking too much about too many things in too many directions. And so as I was getting ready for today and looking at where I wanted to start, I had 15 different threads that seemed important. So I will over-deliver, and you can either let that make you go away, or you can use every single thing that comes out of this class and change your entire reality, because I guarantee that there will be enough tools, hi Brooke, in what we're doing, hi Tanya, to completely change your world if you let it. I will also say that 47 days is just the tip of what it actually takes to create a totally different reality for yourself around creating your life. Because that's really the topic of this class, is the creation of your life. Moving past doubt, unhiding, and knowing that you know. Doubt is something I do, but I don't want to look at it, and I don't want to acknowledge that I do it. Cool. So everywhere that you haven't yet acknowledged that doubt is one of your favorite choices, could you destroy it and create all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, online, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Hi, Charlene. Okay, I will read that thing later, Gabrielle. So this class got created, and if you guys have been following my stuff, you probably already know, but I'm just going to preface it a little bit in that this class got created because, one, for me, I realized that when I'm not facilitating, I am the worst version of myself. So you may want to look at this for yourself. When you are not creating, when you're not facilitating, when you're not actually being all that you are the worst version of yourself. You're an obsessive compulsive creator, and if you aren't creating your life, you are going to be creating crap. So enter me. When I'm not obsessively compulsively creating the future, creating the business I desire, creating the classes that I want to facilitate, I obsessively compulsively create crap. So I looked at, so that was thing number one, is how this class got created. So here you guys all are, and here we get to be changing all of this together. How, I mean, really, when you look at what can come out of your willingness to create from and as you, it's pretty miraculous. The second thing was that I literally have, you know, since I left Vancouver in May, and I've been taking everything apart. I really stopped facilitating almost everything. I was facilitating some foundation classes, which were awesome. But for me, I was used to facilitating like 5 to 6 hours a day, sometimes more. And it dwindled down to almost nothing. And I took my relationship apart. I started dating somebody new. I shifted everything. I was really close friends with Stephanie, and I was sort of dropping a lot of what I knew for what she knew, and I know a lot of people could tell. I was just going into a lot of doubt. When John left, or when I ended the relationship and John went home, I felt like I'd lost the one person who was truly in my court all the time. And I had to start really looking at all this stuff that I was using to completely cut off what I can and do contribute to the world. Because that's my sweet spot. You know, when I'm facilitating and chatting with you guys and creating classes, that's my happy place. You know, along with just the other things that you add to your life that make life worth living. But so I had to start just getting really present. And the thing that started getting me really present was I chose the business of succeeding with Shannon O'Hara, and I chose the first 3 calls, and then I chose the 10 months. And she had to start really looking at, what is success to you? In your access business in particular, what is success to you? How will you know you've achieved it? That one question got me looking at all the things. I started looking at, okay, what is success to me? What would that even be like? And different things came up. But the flip side of that also came up, which was, do I even want to choose that? So I kind of put myself in the either or reality with choosing success in my life and in my business. I was like, well, either I can choose success or I can choose to leave my life. So I got myself into a really sticky place with that question for a while. I let myself be there. Instead of going, what can I add to my life? What would be fun? You know, that the and reality, that's actually a possibility. I went to the either or reality. So how many of you guys are going into the either or reality? I can either have this or I can do this. I can either be successful with everything that I really desire to create, or I can be a wife and a mom. Or either or. So everything that might be for any of you guys, can we just join and create all that? Right, wrong, goodbye, pot, pock, online shorts, boys and beyonds. So what I'd like to invite you to do with this class is, this can be a class where you just hang out and you listen and you loop the classes in the background, and that's fine. You'll get change. You can also use this class to truly choose to unhide yourself for at least 47 days. And if you'd like to use the group as a place to do that, I'm inviting you to do a video every day on what it is you're looping or choosing or stuck in or celebrating. Or you can choose another way of unhiding yourself. A video is a simple way, and you can use the group for that. But I had to start looking at, I really could either just choose to succeed with everything that I knew that I wanted to create, or really choose something else. And I had an evening where I let myself go completely down the something else road. I was like, you know, I'm dating this new guy, and he's not into access at all. In fact, he's really not into access. And he's got a restaurant here, and he's been talking about, you know, having a flipping homes business. We've talked about all kinds of things. We can flip homes together. We can, you know, franchise his restaurant together. We could do all kinds of things together. None of them would have anything to do with an access business. And if I went that direction, I'd be spending all my time and energy in that direction. I could bartend. So what I did is I let myself go completely down the road of like not succeeding in this business that I've been choosing for a while now. And that was really, 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 really good information. It was good information. It was like, yeah, I guess I could just sort of be normal, use the tools incognito, not really choose to be all that I am, except when I wanna. Maybe I could choose that. And so leaving myself there for an evening, I woke up the next morning and I was like, I'm not choosing that. That's just not the most fun version of my life. That's not what can I add to my life. That's not what would make my life worth living. That would not make my life worth living. That's not all these other things that actually add these vibrant energies. And I've really needed to choose the not vibrant energies in the last few months to really get the gift of the vibrant energies. And I'm talking about all the things. I'm talking about where you live. I'm talking about, you know, in what state you live. Not state, but like the state of your house. I'm talking about how you choose to dress yourself. I'm talking about all the people in your life. I'm talking about all the different things in your life that may or may not be contributing to a life worth living. And so when I let myself go down the road of a life that's clearly, that I wasn't sure if it was worth living. I'm like, well, I don't know. Let's choose that and see. It's been a while. I've kind of been around all these other people and energies and all this access stuff. You know, it's like, let's try this other thing for a while and see. I'm like, in the last few days, I've gotten so clear on so many different things. So I'm inviting you to use this 47 days to get really clear for yourself. Now, some of you are going to have to go the other direction. I needed to go, I'm going to call it slumming it. I needed to go the slumming it direction for a minute, for a few months. And I can elaborate on that if anybody has questions, but I know what I mean. Because I had a house on a hill. I did the marble floors. I have and still have my Mercedes. I traveled the world. I did all the things that everybody around me was doing that I thought was success for me. And some of that is, some of it isn't. So I need to go another direction just to get some more information. Choice creates awareness. Now some of you are going to have to do the opposite. Some of you are going to just need to get more information about what success is for you. How will you even know if you've succeeded in your life? If you get to the end of your life and somebody is standing there giving a eulogy, what do you want them to say about you? What do you want the people of Earth to have from you? What do they already have from you? You know, you be you, and you are the different possibility, and so you change the world. And if you exponentialize that, and you create a business out of that, or you create classes out of that, or you create sessions out of that, that gets even greater. Is what you're currently choosing, is it enough? And if it's not enough, what can you add? What can you add? And so this is going to be kind of in choppy pieces, but I want you to take the piece that actually does something for you. Maybe sit down and write your eulogy. What is somebody saying about you at the end of your days? For those of you guys that have a business, if you have an access business, what is success with your access business to you? What was it about access consciousness? What is it about access consciousness? What was it when you found it that just sparked that thing in you and you were like, that? What was that for you? Where has that gone anywhere? Do you want to create something with that? What did you come here to create? And all of those, take any one of those questions. I mean, there's tons of questions I've already thrown into here. Take any one of those questions and really get present with it, with you. Because, okay, so that's part one of this video. I know I'm 12 minutes in, but fuck it. Part two of this video is going to be the destruction and the uncreating of everywhere that you are making doubt real. And I was listening to the distractor implant clearing loop from the chapter on fear and doubt in business and relationship. And there's a reason those four are lumped together: fear, doubt, business, and relationship. Okay, so if you look at all of those, I'm like, what do we do when we don't want to create our business? We're like, oh, my husband won't like it, blah, 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 or Jim will leave, and blah, blah, blah. You know, business. The distractor implant of business. Well, I have to do this, and I can't do this, and I'm afraid, and I can't show up, and I don't know if I know. Fear, doubt, business, and relationship. So listen to the clearing that's in that chapter, okay? So what physical actualization of the terminal, which is deadly, terminal and eternal disease, a deadly, everlasting disease of having everything you would like and everything you would desire, are you not acknowledging as the perfection and the purchase of the distractor implants, especially of fear, doubt, business, and relationships, as the sum total of choice? That is all the choice that you have. You can have either this or this. You can either doubt yourself or you can be arrogant. You can either be afraid or you can be cocky. You can either have a relationship or you can have a business. You can, I mean, I could go on and on and on. The either ors in that are completely endless. And so what physical actualization of the terminal and eternal disease? It's a disease in this reality to have everything that you want and everything that you desire. It is a disease. You are broken. You are self-centered. You are all the judgments. Put a judgmental word in there, and that's what you are. It is a disease to have everything you want. In relationships in this reality, you must compromise. In business in this reality, you must have a plan. You must be logical. In this reality, fear is real. Doubt is real. So if you align and agree with any of that, or you resist and react to it, you've made it just as real as anybody else in this world. Now, there was a moment, and I'll probably be bringing this up a lot because I want to just weave this into our whole thing. There was a moment in the Happiness is Just a Choice class the other morning when I was listening to it, where Gary was having a conversation, I think with Nirmada, and she was asking him about the way that he was facilitating this topic. Because the first thing that really popped out to me about the whole conversation was, when you are as aware as you are, and there's even some labels that have been like OCD, autism, Asperger's, but let's just say when you are as aware as you are, you cannot tell the difference between your stuff and other people's stuff. There's no separation. So as a kid with that level of awareness, growing up in families like we did, let's say you have a dad that was angry all the time, a mom that was angry. Both my parents were angry all the time, actually. And you don't know you're aware, you as a kid can't tell the difference between what you're picking up on and you. There's no separation. So by the time I was 5, I stopped smiling with my teeth. And moving into my 20s, skipping time frames here, I just knew I was a sad person. I couldn't not be sad. I didn't even know how to not be sad. So when you don't acknowledge that you're aware, you cannot get free from this. You buy this stuff as it's real. It feels real, and so therefore it's real. So when Nirmada was asking Gary in this conversation, she's like, Gary had this really beautiful conversation with one of the class participants, and he really facilitated her through a lot of sadness that was showing up for her. But he kept speaking to the space underneath the sadness. There was a space. And Nirmada asked him about that, and he said, yes, I never make what's happening on the top, the tears, the anger, the fear, the doubt, I never make that real. I speak to the space underneath all the things that are feeling more real for that person. And those two pieces of information for me shifted something really big. I realized that I was continually not acknowledging that what I was feeling was awareness. I was not even acknowledging that was awareness. Because I was feeling it, and it matched points of view that I had about my life, it was mine. Now, I know the tool, who does it belong to? I even used it a few times. But there was still this, you can use a tool and not fully acknowledge or really use it. If you get present with an energy and it's heavy, it is not yours. But the moment you resist it, the moment you align and agree with it, you've bought it as yours. So you are now functioning from it as if it's yours. So what I want to invite you to look at over this next 24 hours especially, because we're going to be meeting every day for the next 47 days, so that's really fun. So over the next 24/7 hours, 24/7 hours, it's a new thing, I want you to start to just observe yourself. And the moment that you go into doubt, or you go into fear, or you go into hiding, or you go into really anything, but let's just focus on those three for a moment. Or you go, get fear, doubt, and hiding. Stop. Literally just stop and go, we're not doing that. And this actually may be something we practice over the next 47 days period, but for now, for today, it's for the next 24 hours. Just stop and go, I'm not doing that. So what do I actually know here, and what would I like to choose? Stop. We're not doing that. What do I know here, and what would I like to choose? Don't go into trying to figure out why you feel it, where it came from, where it started, why you're fucked up. You're not fucked up. For the next 24 hours, we're just going to suspend that you're fucked up and see how that goes. I want to see what shows up for you. And I'm inviting you to make a video about this video, about what's actually been going on for you, about what you would truly like to get out of this 47 days. What would success from this 47 days look like for you? Who would you like to be? What are you asking for? What would you like to change? What would you like to be willing to choose? What would you like to get clear on out of this 47 days? And I think I probably should shut up because I'm pretty sure I gave you 18 homework assignments. So I'm going to create, I'm going to create a loop. I'm going to probably be creating quite a few clearing loops through this whole class. And you can use my loops or you can create your own. But from this distractor implant chapter on fear, doubt, business, and relationship, I want you to run that in addition to all of these other home plays that I'm giving you. And some of these I'll probably reiterate over the next few days, but choose the one that resonates for you. But what physical actualization of the terminal and eternal disease of having everything you would like and everything you would desire are you not acknowledging as the perfection and the purchase of the distractor implants, especially of fear, doubt, business, and relationships, as the sum total of choice? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, goodbye, pop, pop, all my insurance, boys, pants. Okay. If you want, would you close your eyes? And I want you to tap into just all of the molecules around you. The ones that you're sitting on, the ones that you have your feet on. Yeah. The ones that are surrounding you in terms of walls or cars or whatever it is, just tap at the earth. And just to begin to receive from all of the inanimates. Begin to receive from all of the elementals. Begin to receive from every molecule of your body. And you don't have to try to do this, it just occurs once you put your attention on it. And begin to receive the gift of you and your choices. You don't have to be able to cognize what the gift of you is. You can't. And just start asking the universe to show you what it is you haven't been willing to see. And look inside your world and just ask yourself, what would I really like to choose here? And you can open your eyes if you haven't already. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Tuesday I'm flying, so there will be a different time, and I'll make sure you get an email about that, and then we will go on from there. I'm encouraging you to go back and take notes on this and really, really dive into some of these questions for yourself so that you can create something different. All right? I will see you tomorrow.